It's essentially about a woman who's transgendered. She used to be a man, and her boyfriend, who's an American Indian. And it's basically about them losing their jobs based on the prejudice that they run into working and living in the South. And they choose to move back to her boyfriend's parents' cabin in the North Carolina hills. And their plan is to move to the West Coast, where they think they'll have better luck. While they're there, they run into all kinds of supernatural problems, because there's essentially a cult operating in the North Carolina hills. And it's essentially about two people who decide that they want to be together, and even though the going gets rough, they stay together. This is just to give you an idea. Harlan Ellison once said, "Too many people think that books are written by the magic man on the mountain." Just to give you an idea of how normal I am. This is my kitchen, where I live with my 3 other roommates. You know, this is what we have. We have a percolator. We have a coffee maker, where we drink coffee in the morning. We have a crock pot. This is where I mostly cook beans and things like that. I think today that we've forgotten that. We've forgotten why we have stories. I think the role of the storyteller is to create this composite reality, which is essentially a reality that they make up. It's a lie. It's fictitious. But to charge it with important messages and metaphors that people can use in their daily lives, in the shared reality. That's what I think the role of the storyteller is. So if you look at Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, I think one of the finest American novels ever written. It's a novel that explains how African Americans feel in a predominantly white society. And it helps people, or anyone who feels alienated, to approach the reality that the concrete reality that they see before them in a way that helps them use it to their advantage. So I think fiction, you know, journalism tells you what's going on, fiction tells you how to deal with it. And I think that's the role of the writer, is to help people deal with their daily lives. So we open up the cabinets, there's some gluten-free pizza crust. We have an empty box of Propel fitness water packets, which I'll throw away eventually. We have black beans and peas. We have tortillas. We have Sonic the Hedgehog glasses. Well, there's a lot of different mediums out today, and people say that, you know, maybe film is making literature obsolete, and that's not true, because film didn't make music obsolete. Every medium brings something different to the table. I think people need to keep reading, because I think society has an idiosyncratic notion that somehow books are becoming obsolete in the wake of new media, and that's just not true. It just means that some new media is showing up, what we see with the internet and Twitter and things like that. People tend to get very enthusiastic when new media comes up, and that's fine to get enthusiastic with it. But also, I think we need to look more back at old media to see things that we might not have noticed before. We have some off-brand Baileys. It's okay, we're 21. And some banana nut muffins and pasta that our parents have made for us. This is what I've been eating for several days. It's a tortellini Uberbacken. It was created by essentially it's a German dish with Italian recipes. I will say that I'm not an American Indian. There are many characters in the book that I'm putting out, Tree Black, who are American Indian, and I put a lot of the Cherokee language into the novel. I believe firmly in all cultures from this country and every country, and I think that it's important to write about all of them. And I decided to give this particular book an American Indian flavor, as some of my other short stories and books that I'm planning to write have different ethnic flavors. I think culture is important, and I think it's interesting.
I like how we have more catch-up than we have anything else. Like, you know, if the world is lost, we can always eat catch-up. You know, that's basically where we live. Cereal, we have all our cereal, we have our Pop-Tarts, you know, we have our salt and pepper shakers, and for the record, we mostly just eat out anyway. So that's pretty much it.